Who loves you, baby? It's your boy. He's back. Yeah, I had to put on the referee shirt, the whistle somewhere around here, like the question say in the thumbnail, in the title. Wow, did Obama deport more than Trump? Well, this is a new term. It is a lot to left be said, but let's do some fact checking around here because this is what some people was speaking about at my job, and man, things is getting kind of hazy. But well, not but it looks like we start seeing how the media plays out things these past few years and months with with the outbreak of the pandemic and things, on the way things is spurring around. But man, let's take a closer look and let's do some fact checking. Let's look at some charts and let's get this show started. Hit the subscribe bell. And it looks like to me, by a couple of these charts I'm about to show y'all, seem like, let's look at the charts first. Let's do some fact checking. Now, this is a fact check, but I wanted to look at, I don't know how to get that screen up. But, it will be some struggle screaming going on. Let me go back it up like this, and let's look at this first video. Oh, go in there, histories. And let's look at this one first, because this is the one with the thumbnail. Is y'all getting ready now? Where's the one with the thumbnail? Right here. So you see the thumbnail of the picture that's going to be on the... and I haven't even seen this yet, so be patient with me. All right? This is easier if I move that right there.
President-elect Donald said...
fair use. And this is his channel.
In his post-election 60 Minutes interview, that his plan is to deport 2 to 3 million undocumented immigrants when he is sworn into office. And this has been a big reason why Donald Trump appealed to a pretty significant portion of his base, right? His immigration-related rhetoric, his promises of deportation forces, his discussions about a wall with Mexico. This has all been a big reason of why many of his supporters voted for him. And what's fascinating is that President Obama has deported way more undocumented immigrants than the number that Donald Trump promises to deport. So think about that and think
about that. And then Donald was just talking about a promise in his last election, but let's listen to a little bit more.
Think about, if you follow the narratives in media, many Trump voters like Trump because as they see it, unlike Obama, he's going to get going on deportations, which they're angry that President Obama hasn't done. So I want to make sure you're armed with the facts here. According to a Pew Research data analysis released in August, the Obama administration deported 2.4 million undocumented immigrants between 2009, when President Obama took office, and 2014. That's an unprecedented number. That's a record.
So everybody can go fact check that to see if that there is true, but I'm going to keep it moving, and I'm going to learn how to bring up this other one. See, this other chart that I was digging into, and I got to see if I can get stuff that I saved. So this is going to be a real hard one. There's the downloads. Could I get downloads? How do you do that? Do I? Oh, I think this is how. And let's look at a download. And one of my downloads I want to look at was to get y'all to look at this right here. Oh, I did it wrong. And that's a, oh, that, well, let's look at this one. Let's look at this one right here. Did your boy do it right? Uh, I didn't, I didn't do it right. Well, it's the one right over here. This is the one I'm trying to get to. The one I'm trying to get to is the third one. Uh, we will get to. I will figure out a way. But man, on this deporting thing, uh, let me stop sharing that and let's get into this. And how do you get to that, MC? Let's say entire screen. Let's say uh, this one right here and do like that. Now, here it is. I believe y'all can see it now. I'm going to try to blow it up. How do you blow it up, Mr. MC? Oh, you do it like this. You touch this. Look at this. Look at it. 400,000 is to the right. Deportation by U.S. immigration authorities. Number of people removed from the United States within a fiscal year. So Obama, look how many he removed. 400,000 and up. These are 3 tiers right there. And that was through 2012 all the way to 2016. Them are some high marks. Then Trump. Trump marked couldn't even get close to his. And then Biden, 2020 into 2024. And then it vanished. See that little vanishing mark? See how low those numbers are? Remember all the way over here to the left? What happened to all of these people? Did they return? If you add all that up, that can add up to 20 million. If you add all that up from the lowest one of Biden, that's 20 million. That's all I wanted to show. Is I'm showing it. Let me see. Is I'm showing it. I hope I'm showing it. Or else this is the most. That's a lot, right? So it does look like Obama by this chart. And some other presidents, it's another grid in here that shows that it was a lot of deportation going on. But in the media, they spend it as he's going to look out for the dreamers and all of this sort of thing. And us as Americans need to be mindful. Over the years, we've been seeing ballet dancers, a few gymnastics and other athletes and people in the arts and opera, people that do opera and all of these sorts of things. These are what they call the asylum seekers. And I guess when the Olympics come, they get a chance to go and play for their country. These friendly relationships with the countries that we allow people to come here, and at the same time, westernize a few of our, not policies, but our belief systems land over there in the country, but not everything, like, religion and that rainbow ABC community stuff don't land over there in everybody forest. So, wow. Now we look at that chart right there where that big gap is with Biden. That chart shows that even though Biden's mind was like, we can see that he may not have been running things, but that chart shows that whole big blank spot. What happened to all of them immigrants that was removed, and did some of them return? And this is where the problem lies also. So not only the problem lies there, but then it also lies back to what Elon was doing in Wisconsin when this jumped off. See, this is what jumped off. Let me bring this up. Did I bring it up? Well, let me stop playing that and let's bring up this.
Antonio's helping out with the Social Security. So just trying to review
Fair
Social Security.
use, y'all.
That we found 20 million dead people marked as alive in the Social Security database. This is so crazy. And then you'll notice there's a strange trend here where how many Social Security numbers were issued. Do you want to?
Yeah. So let me tell you what happened here. We started at the top of the system.
You want to talk about a lot of maybe?
We started at the top of the system, mapping the whole system of Social Security to understand where all the fraud was. And there's a lot of great people there that showed us really a lot of waste. And so that came up with a big list of stuff they're working on. You've heard some of that already. But this is what jumped out at us. When we saw these numbers, we were like, what is this? In 21, you see 270,000 people. Goes all the way to 2.1 million in 24. These are non-citizens that are getting Social Security numbers.
Yeah, this is a mind-blowing chart.
Yeah, just this literally blew us away. Like, we went there to find fraud, and we found this by accident. And this isn't political, by the way. My parents are immigrants. Yeah, this country's been great to us. My brother and sister all born in Spain. I'm pro-legal immigration. This is not political. This is not political. This is about America and the future of America. And there are a lot of good people in the system that pointed us in this direction. I want to honor them right now. That work in the government today, who took risks to show us these numbers and tell us what's going on. Yeah. So I want to stop for a minute. I want to honor those people today. Very good people. Very good people. I have been from D.C. to Social Security offices to the border to track this down. And very good people have helped us along the way. I want to thank them.
Yeah.
This number...
This is Barry.
It leaves you without words that it took somebody like Elon Musk and Antonio here to be digging into these things, and they were directed by people at Social Security like, hey man, you might want to take a look at this. What? We've told people, but they won't listen. Take a look at this file. And they dug in. And oh my God, heads exploded with this data. This right now, this section here, which I'm not going to interrupt anymore. I want you to hear the entirety of this section and let it sink in. And go ahead and put a mark down. It's at the 1 hour and 47.
And look, that is easy to do, because if you can pull some strings in your states and then manipulate and, make it seem like, supposedly you might not be in this position if you keep looking at some work that don't have nothing to do with you. All kind of things jumps off. So, in other words, fraud. Allegedly, some fraud been going on. And then let's move it up to right here.
Of entry, and you can tell them you're afraid. They'll give you an asylum case. You'll get an interview. Then you get in. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to just go to the border. Literally, this happened. I talked to Border Patrol myself. Elon was there too. I went to Laredo, and I went to Bronzeville. Elon went to Eagle Pass. You walk up to a Border Patrol officer, and you tell them you want to come in. They have a couple of choices. They could charge you with a misdemeanor or a felony under 1325. Or they can make it an administrative offense, like a parking ticket, basically. They were told to do that, make it an administrative offense under the last administration. And then you go walk across the border. They do what's called a release your own recognizance, and they give you an NTA, notice to appear, which is to appear to judge. The wait times on judges are like average 6 years. Look at Grok, you'll see it on immigration judges. There's only 700 of them. This is 5.5 million people, okay? So what happens then? Once you're in the country, and you got asylum through one of these pathways, and we mapped the whole thing out, you can apply for a work document. You file a 765, It's the work form. You get this form called the 766. That's the authorization. And then Social Security Administration automatically sends you in the mail your Social Security number. No interview. No ID.
This is worth just reiterating. It's not people sometimes think that under the Biden administration.
So, just go and look at this video. It's a short video that Barry put on his channel, Fanfare, with Barry Cunningham. And I mean, all this stuff is going on. So, fair use on that there. Now, the other thing is that now we're going to look at one with our boy Obama, okay? Get ready. And this is fair use, and this is going to really rock your world for real on this one.
On average a day, people are wondering, and our Twitter feeds and Facebook feeds, that's the question everybody asks. Won't you at least consider unilaterally freezing deportations for the parents of deferred action kids?
Yeah. Here's the problem that I have, Jose, and I've said this consistently. My job in the executive branch is supposed to be to carry out the laws that are passed. Congress has said, here's the law when it comes to those who are undocumented, and they allocate a whole bunch of money for enforcement. And what I have been able to do is to make a legal argument that I think is absolutely right, which is that given the resources we have, we can't do everything that Congress has asked us to do. What we can do is then carve out the DREAM Act folks, saying young people who have basically grown up here are Americans that we should welcome. We're not going to
see, and that's the spin that I'm just basically saying. This is the spin that they kept spinning on us. The DREAM Act. The DREAM Act. The ones that was born here. Although, once you touch this soil, those are born here. Now, we remember, now that if you research and look at some of the news data and look back, you can see that people was running something like, well, it ain't like a scam or some type of trafficking people to be legalized here through pregnancy. So like they did this ICE raid or this bus on this Comfort Inn type of hotel, and they noticed that these API Asian individuals will all of a sudden they go to the hotel and they be like in the 8th or the 9th month, just about to burst, have a baby here, born, legalized, stamped in this hospital, and then catch that plane back later on down the line after they do a couple of doctor visits. So, just fair use, and let's look at what the commander-in-chief's
going to have them operate under a cloud, under a shadow. But if we start broadening that, then essentially I would be ignoring the law in a way that I think would be very difficult to defend legally. So that's not an option. And I do get a little worried that advocates of immigration reform start losing heart and immediately thinking, well, somehow there's an out here. If Congress doesn't act, we'll just have the president sign something and that'll take care of it. And we won't have to worry about it.
See, so in other words, a lot of that had to stop. So thank y'all for enjoying this show. Let me see if I can get one more chart up, because that was some hard struggle screaming on that there, and I couldn't, Man, that was some hard struggle screaming. I don't know how I got the first chart up, but see, that was a good chart to get up, and the next chart should be easy. This is the one I really wanted to get up, but it didn't come out like the way I wanted it to come out. Let me see if I can get this one. That one's not coming out the way I wanted to get out. So with that there, go check out the other charts. Fair use. And I see y'all until then. I know it was a slow show. I was pumped up, but this is how the rigging of votes in the new game is jumping off. And now they know we know. And what is the new things that's coming around the corner? Oh, well, you know, they are entertaining us with people that share my complexion, whether it's male or female, but basically male. And they would use AOS. She's not a bad looking chick, and they would use people like that to like mesmerize us. So be careful and be cautious with your vote. And until then, subscribe, and I'm out. Oh.